Then you missed a 6-girl tag team match.
No, I didn't.
I wish I had. And then we come to the main event of it. Remember when the main event on Raw was some kind of showdown between Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Undertaker, or The Rock and Mankind, or Triple H with a sledgehammer and somebody? The last segment main event position on Raw was Miz, old frog face, introducing Logan Paul. And I'm watching this. Of course, I didn't watch it live because that would have required me staying up till 11 o'clock at night. I watched it DVR the next day. Stace is on the way to take Harley to get her canine flu shot and sees Logan Paul coming. I said, who is that? And I said, that's a social media guy, celebrity that they have just signed and did a celebrity match at WrestleMania. And she rolls her eyes, and then he gets in the ring and is standing next to Miz, and she looks and she says, Miz, that's Miz. He's a wrestler, right? Yeah. Well, he's not as big as the fucking guy from Twitter. No. Again, I know a lot of people know who Logan Paul is. Are a lot of them wrestling fans? Do they think they're going to make them wrestling fans? I remember that when we watched WrestleMania, Logan Paul didn't do really bad. It was fairly good for a non-wrestling personality. He has some athleticism. But have we come to this, that not only this is what they think will draw money at SummerSlam because all their guys are dead and not over, that the outside celebrities and media influencers are going to be the ones to sell tickets? And do we know yet that their social media audience gives two shits about especially bad wrestling, but wrestling in general? And this thing was a train wreck because Miz turned on Logan Paul after the WrestleMania match that they won for no apparent reason. And the story came out, well, Logan Paul wanted to leave as the babyface. So he got dropped on his head by Miz after they won their tag match with no problems. And then they played that footage. And then they bickered with each other. And basically Miz is saying Logan Paul is a rookie in his sport. He put him over as being great at everything else. Whatever everything else that he's done is, he's boxed some people and he's on Twitter or whatever. But he won't accept Logan Paul's challenge because he's not in Miz's class. And at that point, Logan Paul calls Miz, so old man. What is fucking Miz like, what, 37 years old? And he says, old man. Good God. Apparently, they go back and forth forever. Logan Paul determines or announces that he's going to host a show of his own next week in Madison Square Garden, so they're trying to kill New York City now. And this took forever, and finally, Logan Paul gets the crowd to chant tiny balls at Miz, and Miz rips his jacket open and reveals he's wearing a t-shirt that says, "My balls are massive." And because of this horrible ball insult, the heel who was refusing to face the babyface changes his mind and accepts the challenge because the size of his balls were insulted in a comedic way. And then they get in a fight. And suddenly poor Tommaso Ciampa, who was the highlight of NXT and is an incredible physical specimen and an amazing worker and a believable guy, he goes to the main roster and they make him a mid-card flunky for everybody else that gets beaten 5 minutes every time. Well, he comes in and jumps Logan Paul from behind, and both the heels start to beat up Logan Paul, and Logan Paul just breaks loose from him and rolls out and walks off. And then they were so early on the live show because even though that fucking back and forth between them seemed like forever, it was only like less than 10 minutes. And so they had to send one of the girl interviewers in the ring to do an impromptu interview with the heels who were still in the ring because they had more time on the air and Logan Paul had already fucking bailed out and walked off and let the heels rough him up and get away with it. What the fuck?
Talented guy, athletic guy, has a fan base beyond wrestling. So let's do this with him. This makes no sense. Everyone's a child. The world of WWE is a world of adults who behave like children and think like children and act like children. So unfortunately, I'm not surprised, but the misuse of Logan Paul.
And it's like that whoever is writing this nonsense, and I know a lot of people, blame Vince. Well, he doesn't come up with every word. And he doesn't come up with every fucking line, every sentence, blah, blah, blah.
But they're writing for him.
But Vince still knows how grown adults fucking argue and speak to each other.
Does he?
And
does he?
Well, he had a bunch of them on his program 20 years ago doing it. And that's why we're going to talk about these, because the only saving grace now is that A&E has the new seasons going on of Biography and Rivals. We can actually see some WWF wrestling stars that were good at what they do and when the people gave a shit. Problem is it was 20 and 30 years ago, but we can see that now weekly on television for a little while longer. But I don't remember, as we'll talk about, Undertaker and Kane, their rivalry starting because somebody said to the other one that they had tiny balls. So this is what wrestling has turned into, and they expect people to watch Raw.
And let me correct you, it didn't start because he told the world that he had tiny balls. It started because he was attacked by his tag team partner, and they get him back. He confronted him without any physicality, but he got the fans to chant tiny balls. However, the heel was prepared for questioning of his balls.
For the questioning of the size, scope, and circumference. What about weight? Is it better if they're small but they're dense so they're heavier? Or is it better you have bigger ones but they're not that dense so they're kind of light? You can kind of juggle them like little tennis balls.
Well, we'll find out when the PG-14 era begins, when they start doing this on TV on the USA Network, but I saw the first segment, I saw the last segment, and that was enough. I was ready for bed after that.
Well, I'll tell you what you should have done, Brian, then. I'll tell you exactly what you should have done if you were ready for bed, although after you watch Monday Night Raw, I would think most people could go to sleep standing up. But if you wanted to be comfortable, then you should plop down immediately after Monday Night Raw on your brand new Helix mattress, the one that they have tailored just for your needs and specifications. Because, you know, Brian, our friends over at Helix Sleep, they don't just send out the same kind of mattress for anybody. They have different kind of mattresses for the way that you sleep, the position, whether you're hot at night or you're cold at night, or whether you like firm or soft or whatever the case. They've got a mattress for you. And now you can go to one of those mattress stores. You've seen it, the mattress discount place. And you go in there and they've got testers. But you know the problem with those, Brian. You know the problem with testing a mattress in a public place. Who else has been on that thing? They've been laying there. Did they turn over on their side? Did their nose run? Did they turn over on their stomach because they wanted to see what it would feel like to sleep on their stomach? And then, you know, Mr. Johnson and his friends were in contact with the mattress, even if it was through a thin piece of cloth, still, there's potential drippage.
What about farting?
Farting. You got somebody farting. And you don't know how many farts you're going to take home with you or lay on when you go to a mattress store. You know, and also they look at you funny. For example, before we found out about the Helix Sleep people, Brian, when I would go into a mattress store to do a mattress test, I would get greeted with rudeness at best. Because I remember one time I went in there, I had my tray with cheeseburger, French fries, some wings on the side, but I didn't get the hot sauce, the messy stuff. I had dry rub. and a Sprite, 0 over ice. And I sat down and put my tray there. I started eating, and they got mad at me. They said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm testing the mattress." "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, I want to see how it feels like and how it holds the tray up when I eat dinner in front of the TV." They asked me to leave the store. And then another time, I came in, I brought Harley because I wanted to see what Harley thought of the mattress and whether she enjoyed the belly rubs on the mattress, because she gets on her back for the belly rubs. They told me to get my dog off their mattress, which I thought was very rude, because after all, if I don't want a mattress that Harley's not going to like, and you've got to test these mattresses for every activity. So there's the dog's belly rubs, and there's eating dinner in front of the television. And boy, I'll tell you what, when me and Stace, when we showed up wearing our pajamas with a toy bag, well, they called the police. And that's the most important part of the mattress.
Well, why don't we talk about another mattress, a better mattress, one that could be shipped right to you without a man and his dog and Mr. Johnson and his wife and all this stuff, without any of that being on the bed, leaking on the bed, whatever it may be. You can get a brand new bed, a brand new mattress.
Well, it's no secret that those secretions on those public mattress stores will give you some kind of mange. But anyway, the point I'm making is, and by the way, Harley got fleas off that mattress store mattress. But that's the point I'm making. If you go to helixsleep.com, ladies and gentlemen, then all you have to do is take their 2-minute quiz for exactly how you like to sleep and what you like your mattress to be about, and they will match you up to the perfect mattress and ship it to your door for free. So you don't need to go out there to these mattress stores and try eating or playing with your dog or engaging in intimate relations on those mattresses. You're going to get one custom designed for you and sent to your door. And then you can have fun with the unboxing, and you don't even need help. And they've got a 10-year warranty, and you get to try it out for 100 nights risk-free. How in the world? Imagine how much sex, food, and belly rubs you can have on a mattress in 100 nights. And then, if you still don't like it, they'll come and pick it up. And they'll scrub it real good before they sell it again. Folks, and right now, Helix is offering up to $200 off all the mattress orders and 2 free pillows just for our listeners. If you go to Helix Sleep, that's HELIX, helixsleep.com/JCE. That's the code. That's what you need to do. You need to slash that JCE, and you'll get up to $200 off and a couple of free pillows. And everybody needs a couple of free pillows. You never know when you're going to need to cushion the blow of something to your head.
Of course, we want to remind everyone that a very good portion of what Jim just said is not true. These are brand new mattresses, clean mattresses, fine mattresses, the best mattresses.
Yes.
That are sent to you. No one touches them except you. So everything you just heard...
I touch each one they send out.
You do not touch any of these mattresses.
You just said you touch them.
Not you, you the audience.
Touching all the mattresses.
The big you, not the you, the audience I'm talking about.
How do you know I'm not the big you? You haven't visited that area.
Yeah, big balls or tiny balls?
Yeah, don't insult my balls. We'll have to have a match at SummerSlam.
Again, you're getting us all off target again. We're talking about Helix Sleep and great mattresses that the listener should check out. Right?
Yes, that's exactly right. Balls.
All right, well, when you, what's the promo code again? Let's do that before we wrap this thing up.
HelixSleep.com/JCE is what it is.